At UFC 272, we have Jorge Masvidal and Colby Covington finally settling the beef. Maybe it's not going to be settled, but they're fighting, and this is the fight that people want that isn't a title fight. This is going to be amazing. But before we get into it, guys, this video is sponsored by Full Reptile Collective, brought to you by Dan Hardy. Head over to their website at fullreptile.co.uk where you can find anything from training gear, t-shirts, hoodies, all the way to coffee. For an exclusive 10% off, use Dan Said So at checkout. Make sure to also check out their YouTube channel for some of the best MMA content out there, bar my own. Let's get back to the video. So let's start with Jorge. Coming off back-to-back losses against the champion. In the first one, he came in 10 days notice, I think, spent the whole time trying to make weight. Brilliant, made weight. Looked decent, had a little soft patch around the belly. You could see he wasn't in pure shape, but he's still in good shape. Still training, but he's not training like a training camp. Bit different. Went 5 rounds with the champion. Got dominated, but he showed glimpses of what could happen with a full training camp. Had a full training camp, got knocked out bad. It was a picture-perfect shot. If you've seen the picture with the water coming off his head, I mean, the knockout itself is just sublime. How he falls down and how Usman celebrates. Usman's striking has just become scary again now because he's implementing that jab perfectly to set up just an Francis Ngannou power at welterweight, which is brilliant to see because there's not many people at that weight class that can shut your lights off with one shot like that, and Usman has showed that he can do it now. So before those losses though, Jorge was riding a 3-fight win streak, which was great. It all started with Darren Till, if you remember it. Knocked out Darren Till, which was, unexpected for me. I know Darren Till is a big talking point on my channel, and I've got friends of the show that, hit and miss on him. We talk about Darren a lot, but I think he got rushed too quickly to a title shot, and he was coming off a loss to Tyron Woodley, took the Jorge fight. They both couldn't get fights at the time, so they took each other, which was great. Darren is a middleweight, cutting so much weight to make welterweight, and it just exposed him as well. He knocked, I think he absolutely dominated the first round against Jorge, knocking him down. Jorge got back up, and then Jorge did the signature Jorge move, I would say, which is a complete blitz. He fakes a right, he blitzes in, leaps with a left, or he fakes a left and blitzes in, hits with the right. Then gets possibly the greatest knockout we've ever seen under 10 seconds. I mean, that flying knee, he topped it off again. That flying knee against Ben Askren. You could say, would Ben Askren ever have won that fight over the longevity? I still stand by, not a chance. But you never know with the wrestling. I think Ben would have got tired a lot quicker than Jorge would have. All the good, but scrap that to the side because it didn't happen. Flying kneed him, KO'd him, made the mockery of him afterwards. It was, again, outrageous. And then he gets the BMF chance. They make the BMF belt for him and Nate Diaz, and Nate in that looked okay. He looked Nate Diaz. Jorge destroyed him. He knocked him down, I think, 3 times. One with a beautiful head kick, leant over, smashed into the face, down he went. It was a real dominant display. Like, Leon Edwards dominated Nate from every minute of every round except the last minute when he got clipped. Jorge wasn't not dominating at all for the whole. Jorge really put on, like, there was a difference. There was a kill instinct. I am the BM. I'm going to destroy this guy. And then he went into the Usman fight. So Jorge is riding a lot of hype from journeyman to whoa, what a year. And then he starts marketing himself well. For the last 5 fights of his entire career, he's finally marketing himself well. He's got the long hair now. He did the Scarface kind of suit vibe. We look at the last 3 fights of Colby Covington now, and lost to Kamaru, razor close. Again, very competitive, extremely competitive, that second fight. I know people that scored that for Colby Covington, which is mental. I still scored it for Kamaru, but just 3-2, 3-2 as always. They are just that close, I feel bad for Colby because he sold himself. He was a very nice guy, and he was about to get cut from the UFC. He told this story. They didn't want him, even though he's winning. They're not interested. You're boring. And then he started doing the Brazil thing to RDA in Brazil, and he stayed. He marketed himself well. People hate him. He's the heel. I really enjoy watching him. I really do. I don't get all the politics side, so if you're going to blame me for that, I don't understand that because I don't live there. I don't understand all that stuff, so forget that. But just him as a person, I like the fact that he can play this character so much it annoys people, even though the annoyed people know it's not actually what he's like. You're getting mad at Johnny Depp for playing a character, almost, and then blaming Johnny. You know what I mean? It makes no sense. But it's brilliant. He's a phenomenal fighter. He chain wrestles better than nearly anyone in the division. I would say chain wrestles better than Usman. I think Usman's got a better power to his wrestling. He's more stationary. He'll just grab your legs, slam you to the floor. Whereas Colby, because he doesn't have that raw brute power, Hercules strength, he chain wrestles. He turns the corners and he doesn't stop. He grinds you out. He uses his cardio and his volume to overwhelm you, and then he exhausts you and he gets a dominant position, taps you out, knocks you out, TKOs you, whatever he wants to do. That's what he does. He is the elite of the elite. If Usman wasn't here, he would be champion. That is how good he is. He could arguably be champion now. He's calling for that third rematch. He says, look, me and Usman are far above anybody in this division. I deserve that fight. I believe Leon Edwards is getting the fight first, which he deserves. Have someone else have a go. And he's on a 9-fight win streak himself, or 9-fight unlost streak. The Bilal fight, no contest, but whatever. Obviously beat Tyron Woodley with the rib injury, in between the Usman fights. That's the only fight Colby took, because he was adamant, I'm getting this Usman rematch. Woodley isn't the same Woodley. This Woodley was afraid. He really was. He was scared to go in there with these killers. And you saw he kind of, in the last fight with Woodley, when he went against Luque, he kind of ditched all of that. He goes, I'm really scared, I'm really nervous, but put that to the side now, because I just keep getting finished. Since Usman dominated me from start to finish, and I told everyone I was going to dominate him from start to finish, Luque just knocked him out, and then got the choke. So how can you see this one going? I would argue that Colby's kicks could separate the striking out. I could even it out. You have to give the edge in striking to Jorge. You just have to. He's got phenomenal hands, and I don't think Colby has the power necessarily to knock him out like Usman did. I just don't see that happening. But Colby implements kicks very well into his game. He's got a great high kick, good body kick as well, left body kick. Uses it well, used it even against Usman. He doesn't really implement the leg kicks that much, even calf kicks. Jorge is now. That could be a worry, because he's going to want to slow that down, because you have no doubt that Colby is going to implement chain wrestling. He's going to want to hold him down, grind out maybe 2 rounds if he knows he can't finish Jorge. If he knows he can't, I'm not going to knock him out. He's a smart guy. He'll say in the press, I'm going to knock him out, I'm going to submit him, I'm going to destroy, whatever. He knows in his heart of heart, right here, I'm going to have to play this smart. I'm going to have to win rounds. How do you win rounds against a very good striker? And you're also a very good striker, but he might have the edge. Take him down. You've got way better wrestling than him. Jorge has very good takedown defense. Make no mistake, he does. Just because he gets taken down by some people doesn't mean people don't have good takedown defense. He can stop half of Colby's attacks, but what he can't do is stop the chain. And that's where Colby dominates, is when he presses and presses. He'll use those pity-patter 50% shots to then get your legs, turn a corner, and get you to the mat. And then once he's on the mat, he stays on the mat by holding you in one position, and the ref doesn't stand him up because he's pitter-pattering shotting you. And that's how he wins. Wins those rounds. It will be a dominant victory, in my opinion, for Colby Covington. I think Jorge could possibly steal a round. I think it's going to be a decision. I think it's going to be 4 or 5 rounds to Colby Covington. Unanimous decision. So if you're going to be 50-45 or 49-46. That's my prediction here. I would love to know if you think Jorge is going to win. And don't just say, I think he's going to win because I hate Colby Covington. I want a proper reason. Do you think he's just going to the distance management Jorge can create, push him away, hit him with that right, step back again, looping left. He's got a great left hook. Body kicks, slow him down. Can you out cardio Colby Covington? It's a bad game plan to try and outdo the thing the guy's best at. I really don't see Jorge doing that. At the end of the day, he was a very good but average journeyman fighter. Now, get offended at that all you will before those 3 wins. Now, you could argue those wins. Nate Diaz is not the same Nate Diaz. Ben Askren, I'll leave that there. And Darren Till, there's a lot of compromised things about Darren Till. He's not as good as people thought he was. He just isn't. He got rushed too quickly, and also he's dehydrated. Fuck. Jorge beat 3 guys very well, did well for himself, but then he got rushed to the elite of the division. And before that, he was losing to people like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson pieced him up. Go watch that fight. Couldn't get close to him. There's a lot of things that Jorge couldn't achieve in this division before that win streak, and I would just love to see it happen. But alas, Colby Covington, unanimous decision is my prediction. What's yours, guys? Let me know in the comments below. Check out more of the videos on the channel. Subscribe if you are new, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers, guys.